everybody, welcome to the Comic Game Movie Show. My name is Deshaun, and today I'm here to talk about a topic that I have that's been in my peripheral vision. It's been a topic that I thought about, but, it really got brought back up this week, particularly with the Shang-Chi trailer coming out, and that is that China is not that high on Shang-Chi. A lot of people will say that the reason that Marvel's even making Shang-Chi is at least a huge portion of it is to promote it towards China. And, the MCU has Marvel in particular, and the MCU has a history of changing things for China. An instance, in Doctor Strange, I believe that they changed where the they changed where the Ancient One was, the location she was at. I believe it ended up being Catman. Where did it end up being? Like I believe in the comics it was Tibet, I think, or whatnot. But I think it was Tibet. But whatever location in the comic books that the Ancient One actually traditionally is located, that area / country / whatever we want to say has issues with China. So the MCU didn't. So the MCU changed the location that the Ancient One was at. Now, that wasn't that big of a deal to me, and I don't think it was that big of a deal to most people, because although that was accurate to the comic books, there was no real significance to it being in that location. It just seemed like a cool location to have a wise old Asian man be. And, so they changed the location to avoid, it being maybe having some issues getting shown in China. There's also been a time where the MCU included an entire scene that's only in China, by the way. And I think you can see it on the Blu-ray too. There's an entire scene of the team, that section in Iron Man 3 where he's this kind of it's at the tail end of the movie and he gets the shrapnel stuff removed from his heart. That whole sequence was done with they had brought in an entire Asian team. It was like a 5-minute sequence of them operating on Tony Stark. This Asian team operating on Tony Stark, and they've done things like that. They've shifted things, there's been this whole thing going where they don't do demons or they try to avoid doing demons and things of that nature. Because China has very strict policies against certain things they want their people they want to be shown, and for the most part, Marvel and Disney in general have had a thing with that, especially with some stuff like Mulan. Mulan was definitely made to promote towards China, even though I never reviewed Mulan. Did I review Mulan? I don't think I ever reviewed Mulan, but did I review Mulan? I don't think I reviewed Mulan. But either way, I enjoyed Mulan. I thought the movie... No, I didn't, because I didn't see it till months after that came out, because I waited for it to come out for free on Disney+, but because it wasn't in the theaters at the time. The movies were still closed. I probably would have saw it in theaters. I ended up enjoying Mulan and finding it to be a very good movie. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was one of the most beautifully made films, but clearly that movie was made to, push towards China. But the problem is that the lead actress on Mulan and other people involved with it kind of had opinions in the political area in China that kind of made it a little hostile, and the movie didn't do very well. It really didn't do very well for Chinese audiences. And a couple years ago when Black Panther came out, you can look this up. A lot of people never talked about this bit, but Chinese audiences were not that high on Black Panther. In fact, Black Panther did not do that great in China. Chinese audiences just straight up said, "We don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it." It was weird. So China and Marvel have had this weird relationship. Because on the other hand, movies like Captain Marvel, movies like Ant-Man and the Wasp, movies like Avengers Endgame, clearly all the Avengers movies have done gangbusters in China. The Captain America, movies in the MCU have done great in China. Those movies have done great in China. But certain films just don't. And what I mean by this is a topic that I wanted to talk about not that long ago is that China sort of has the Chinese audiences aren't connecting with Shang-Chi. And the thing about it is, I would say that maybe they're not connecting with the character with the trailer, because the reason this topic came back to light was because the Shang-Chi trailer is released in Marvel has different accounts for different countries, and the Shang-Chi trailer releases on all those accounts. And the account for China, Marvel China, is quite, you know, it's the mix. Like, it's like 1,000, it's like 2,000 likes and 2,000 dislikes. It's a very mixed bag. Like, it's a, like every other account across the world, like, you know, it differs on the dislikes, but the likes far outpace the dislikes, except for the China one. The China one's dislikes are like dead heap even. And it maybe wouldn't be a point if I didn't remember when Simu Liu, I'm almost saying his name wrong, but I love that actor. Loved him in Kim's Convenience. By the way, check out Kim's Convenience if you want a little bit of a taste of Simu Liu. He is great in Kim's Convenience. I love him. The whole gang in that show. Actually, it's funny. The guy who plays Appa, his father in the show, was in The Mandalorian too. So, you know, you want to see those actors, I check that out. But, but I remember when he got cast, and Tony Leon got cast as the Mandarin. And Tony Leon, I think that's how you say his name, Tony Leon. I think that's how you pronounce it. He's been in a bunch of movies, especially like, you know, like he's been in Hard Boiled. He was in The Grand Master. He's a well-known, like, Asian leading man. You know, like they say he's like Brad Pitt, George Clooney. Like he's like Brad Pitt, George Clooney in their primes over in Asia. And a lot of Asians were not only Asians, like legit, not Asian Canadians or Asian Americans, Asians overseas in Asia were upset at the casting of Simu Liu because they thought he wasn't Asian enough. In fact, they thought, you know, he's Asian Canadian. They're like, oh, well, he's not really Asian. You know, and like it kind of brought up a topic in my mind. I've talked to my grandmother about this, how like that's how it is though. Like fucking people like I've talked about this, but like people from Africa, a lot of people from like some people from Africa really don't like African Americans and things of that nature. And apparently it's like that there too. Like I don't know. I am not informed. Maybe someone in the comment section. You know, I got a lot of great commenters. I love it. Keep it up. Maybe someone can educate me. But I didn't know this was a thing. But generally speaking, the beef that they have is not only do they not like the casting of him because they thought they should have cast someone from Asia, like they should have cast someone from Asia, you know, regardless if they can speak English or not, they don't care. You should have cast someone from Asia, and they're upset that Tony Leung is the Mandarin, is the quote-unquote villain of the story. They don't like that either. And they're like, we like him better. Why isn't he the lead of this story? Why'd you pick this Asian Canadian kid who's not one of ours? And I was like, wow, this is a thing. And which I would be like nervous about, but I remember reading this the other day, like when I was like looking into it, that like Crazy Rich Asians, I have not seen Crazy Rich Asians. I've heard it's really good. It's got a lot of it's funny enough, it's got a lot of Asian actors in it that I've seen in like a bunch of shit, like Jimmy Chan and shit like you know. I've seen Jimmy Chan in a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of Asian actors and actresses in it that I've seen in so many other things. So I haven't seen the movie yet because I thought it was like a rom-com, and I'm not a rom-com guy, but that movie made most of its money in America. Like, it made most of its money in America. It actually didn't do that well in China. I thought it had done well in China because people kept using that movie, Crazy Rich Asian, as like a template to be like, the Chinese money. There's money to be made with with an all-Chinese cast. And I thought, oh, well, that means they made gangbusters in China. It did not. But, you know, but the thing about it is, though, and like, it's conflicting because I know that the Chinese market it's impossible to ignore. The Chinese market has kept movies completely afloat. Like I'm telling you right now, the Fast and Furious franchise would not exist if the Chinese market wasn't what it is. Vin Diesel would not have as much money as he has. The Transformers movies would have ended at 2. Like I'm telling you, the Transformers movies would have ended. Like Dark Side of the Moon, which I think is what the sequel's called, when it came out, that would have been it. If it weren't for China. China has literally catapulted some of the crappiest movies, like some of the crappiest, all the crappy blockbusters you can think of. Every one of them only made money ever made money because of China. You know, I mean, fuck it. I mean, like Avengers made almost $1 billion in China. I mean, it made like $800 million and shit like that. It made a shit ton of money. But you know, like, so it's hard to really, you know, not want to fuck with that money. Not to say that you need China to succeed. I mean, you can look at Deadpool or any rated R movie. You can look at Deadpool. You can look at Joker. You can look at the It franchise. Like, you can make money without China, but that's a lot of money you're leaving on the table. And it does worry me that maybe, you know, because there was a report about them doing reshoots, maybe trying to, you know, make it a little bit more accessible to Asian audiences, that maybe they might be making a mistake, that maybe Marvel/Disney might pander a little too much to China. But hopefully they don't. Hopefully we just kind of just, you know, let it go, because China's weird, dude. China's got a whole other thing going on over there. Like, I'm not gonna get into the politics of China, but they got a whole bunch of other shit going on over there. And there are people, and like a lot of Asian people, not Asian Americans, but I think a lot of Asian people have certain ways they want to be represented and certain things they want to see, because it's kind of odd like that. Like when you when the people make movies like that, I didn't know that there were that kind of things going on. But like, I just wanted to acknowledge this and bring this topic up, because you're probably gonna see this topic talked about, and it's probably gonna start coming. It's gonna become a little bit louder the closer we get to the release of that movie. Is that a lot of Asians, not Asian Americans, a lot of Asians, people from China and that area in general, are not down for Shang-Chi, because they are not down with the lead character not being from there, and they're not down with the villain being one of their like top guys, and they're just not down with a lot about that movie for some reason or another. And you know, and the thing about it is, because I'm not gonna get into it here, because like I said, I'd be sounding ignorant if I really got into it. I do have my own thoughts and ideas about why they feel the way they do about certain films and not other films, like shitty Fast and Furious movies. But you know, I'm not gonna get into it here. I just wanted to bring that up to people, to let people know that you might see something about that, and I just put it out there that this is a real thing, that China does have a bit of beef with those movies. For some reasons or another. And it is still weird to me, but you know, it is what it is. Thank you guys for the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.